called for a meeting to see what they can do. Police is saying, oh, we're going to buy, and raise what's as much as 13 billion naira to ensure that we secure people's lives and properties during the election properly. Should we be attacking election like it were war? Or should we actually understand that it's just a civic right or civic responsibility that we ought to partake in?
It's a lot of ignorance that fuels all this violence, and I dare to say that, I feel that some of them are politically stoked, because many times people are gathering. Yes, you may support a candidate, or look at the rallies, for example, that happened in Lagos and other parts of, and support their candidate and all that. They did that peacefully. And majority of these gatherings that have happened across the country, whether it's older people or whether it's people for the more traditional parties, it has been peaceful. So when these isolated incidents of violence happen, I think that we need to really interrogate them to really understand what broke down, how was the violence fueled, what happened. And INEC, as well as the security agencies, need to really take them seriously, because if you don't investigate them and from this point in time start to prosecute and make examples of people, rabble rousers, who are causing this violence at these events, then we will not see a change. It will just translate into elections. But when we start to send a strong message from now that there will be zero tolerance for people who are instigating any form of violence, then we would be protecting ourselves and try to kind of orientating people on how we should behave, both as supporters and as leaders, towards the elections, and ensuring that we maintain the peace.
Mr. Ladipo, what do you think?
Yes, I will, I think, take it slightly further and say boldly that a lot of us do not understand democracy. We do not even believe in it. You find in some places, I make bold to say that in some places in Lagos, you find that when people put up, opposition parties put up posters, they're down within a few hours.
Same thing we're talking about. People don't have equal playing ground.
You see, Nigerians tend not to understand that your right to contest, and it's someone else has a right as well. And until we get that message, then we just won't get there. But that will not sink in, because a madman will always be a madman. And until, I'm not saying meet force by force, but maybe, as Terry says, we begin to set examples, then people will understand. Even when there was a purported 5 million march for someone 2 Sundays ago, I had incidents, 2-3 incidents, because it took off from Sule, where I am based, where
is it what happened on a Saturday or on a Sunday?
Sunday.
The day happened. Okay,
it
one
happened,
on a Sunday.
yes.
I just needed to be sure that we're specific.
They slapped a few people. I know certainly about someone that was slapped, all because she said to them, why are you causing this much traffic? Wham, on the face. You understand? So now the person who's done that is probably not a leader. It's probably a tout, not a leader. Well, when you put so many uncontrollable people who are high on stimulants in your rally or on your team, then you're bound not to control them, and you must be answerable for whatever they do. So whether we like it or not, it still boils down to the leadership and to what they doing with their campaigns, because they know these people and they pay them to be there.
All right, Lagos, the phone lines are open. I'd like to hear your thoughts and reactions on this topic. Call me now on 0700 903 903 903. You know why this election is important to you? Because the next 4 years or 4 to 8 years of your life will be determined by the outcome of this election. So we'll keep drumming it into your ears. We'll keep drumming it into your ears so you understand the need for you to participate adequately in this election. So forgive us if I'm boring you with issues about the election all the time, but it's important and very, very important, I dare say, that we all get involved this time around, so we don't get to say, oh, you see people that voted him now, I didn't vote, but we all collectively suffer from the consequences. There is no Yoruba suffering, there is no Igbo suffering, there is no Hausa suffering. The price of things is same everywhere in the markets. So if inflation is hitting the country, is hitting all round. If hunger is hitting the country, is hitting all round. I mean, even the flood situation, we have its effects in almost all geopolitical zones in the country. So we can't say that a particular zone is left out and they probably are enjoying. So if you vote an Igbo person, there's nothing like an Igbo president. The policies of the Igbo president will affect every single person in Nigeria. The policies that a Hausa president would make would affect every single person in the country. So I'd like to hear your thoughts and reactions on this. Call me up on 0700 903 903 903. Do us a WhatsApp message on 0700 903 903 9. That is for your WhatsApp message is 0700 903 903 9. And for your call is 0700 903 903 903. Okay, so let's talk about what would we say, or to what could we attribute the level of political intolerance really? Intolerance, because that seems to be the situation.
Yeah. You see, when I observe, I have the luxury of being an observer in what's going on right now, especially with the youth involvement in politics. And we all know what that excitement of having a candidate or a set of candidates that represent your ideals, as a young person, it arouses your hope in Nigeria. You start to believe again. You start to say, oh, okay, this can happen. These are the possibilities that can emerge if this candidate, becomes what he or she is vying to be. And that faith or that hope sort of can quickly become a blind one.
Oh.
Yes, it can quickly become one that you focus so much on your candidate who has become a symbol to you, to representing something, and you sort of shut your eyes to everything else. So
let me quickly take this call. I'll come back to your thoughts, Tari. Hello, good evening.
Pretty precious.
Oh,
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Welcome.
Yes, and good evening to your guest.
Oh, good evening to my guest. Let me ensure that he can hear you.
Okay. Pretty precious. Except we begin to put sanctions, these things will not end.
What kind of sanctions?
Election violence is a violation of the electoral law.
I agree.
So
but it's always a violation. But we keep, do we have anyone who's been prosecuted really?
That is it. Hold on. There are people and these people, even though they are the ones at the head, it translates to their followers. Because if these people were to call their followers to order, all this arrogance and lawlessness will stop. Since this campaign has been going on, I can't remember anybody from Labour Party going to force market women to come and join Labour or do the bidding of Labour Party members and all that. But we have seen it severally happen in these states. As we speak now, Alaba International is boiling. So, when these people are doing all these things and the police are standing at Kimbo, what do you think is going on? That means it is from the highest quarters. And that is why some people are staying away from politics. This is one of the things they use. This is their tool, brigandage. They intimidate you from casting your vote. They intimidate you from carrying out your civic responsibilities because they know that nothing will happen. Why would any person go and force another person to come and do his bid? Nobody will see it. Nobody will hear it. The police are there. The government are there. We have been saying it that the way Agboros has taken over Lagos is wrong. And some people are empowering them. Why can't they tell these people, drive them out of the motor park and out of the streets. They will never do that because they are using them in the election. Look at it, has started already. The election proper have not come. Look at what they are doing over Lagos now. And the authorities are aware. Then tomorrow you say people don't like politics. People stay away from politics. What do you do when the government cannot protect you? Government cannot protect you to carry out your civic responsibility. What do you do? Are you telling me that this is that's going on in Alaba and other places? The government of this state, they are not aware. They are aware, they know. It is their voice. And that is how 2023 will pan out. Though. They are showing this is the tip of the iceberg. And then tomorrow somebody will tell me that you have won an election through intimidation and brigandage. Is that victory? No, is that how you get your own victory? It is very, very wrong. ANEC is calling the parties to come and start another negotiation for peaceful election. The one that they are violating, what sanction have you placed? I thought they said any party. Any party. Now they are seeing the party that is involved. You saw what happened in Kaduna. What is the government? The government of Kaduna, is it not APC?
But the government said they're not involved. The government is saying categorically that they are not involved in what happened in Kaduna.
Oh no, my God! Precious, please. What do you expect? What do you expect? The one in Zamfara that closed down a whole media house because they said that they should not even advertise or promote or show the rally. There's some media houses they closed them down. What the government is not aware of that one too, agree? This is a clear violation of the law.
It may just be overzealous government aids. Let's just cut them some slack.
Nobody will be sanctioned because they belong to the ruling party. That is just it. That is the only thing, no other thing.
Thank you so
much. So now we're going to do the 2023.
So thank you so much, Mr. Darlington. I do appreciate your feedback. So you
were. In fact, it's sickening. It's sickening.
Thank you.
And somebody promised you free and fair election, no. Somebody promised you. Somebody now sort of promised you free and fair election, no. And you see what is going on, and nobody will be called to order because they are the ruling party. There's no problem.
Thank you so much, Mr. Darlington. Sorry, you want to say something? Mr. Ladipo wants to say something, so let me let Mr. Ladipo go first.
Well, Precious.
Sorry about not letting a lady go first. I know it's ladies first.
No, it's a world of equality.
Equality, okay.
Mr. Darlington, your fears are quite right, but my fears are that the way this election is panning out. People, some of the candidates are dominant in their areas. And if things continue this way, the elections are just beginning, the campaigns are just beginning. If things continue this way, then those meting out such things here in Lagos must understand that there are other candidates who are dominant in their areas. I'll give you an example.
So they too may not be able to.
They too may decide not to control their supporters. And God help us in this country.
My goodness.
Because nobody has the monopoly of violence.
No,
I always say.
We pray doesn't.
That would be disastrous.
Nobody has it.
You know what they say about an eye for an eye?
Yes, nobody has it.
No.
And if majority of people decide to play by the rules, doesn't mean they're stupid. Someone said to me, and I have to speak Yoruba here. He said, Omwali, that a bastard, any Yoruba person that doesn't vote for the Yoruba candidate is a bastard. And I said to him, Omwali Nimi, that yes, I am a bastard. But no, that any Hausa person too that doesn't vote for Hausa is a bastard.
But isn't that where the problem comes?
Exactly. So if you are thinking that everyone has
anywhere.
Exactly, but you cannot continue like we do, continue to play according to the rules, and then someone continues. You are the one that said that we must set examples,
yes,
and someone continues to break the law, go into markets, harass people. We see it, and it started happening in Lagos.
What I wanted to say when Mr. Darlington called, yes. He's very right. We all know what's going on right now, especially in Lagos. What is going on in the markets right now is oppression.
Can I take this call very quickly, then I get back to your to your reaction. Hello, good evening. Hello, 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Welcome, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
My name is Isaac calling from Lagos.
Ike.
Our PVC at the police station near
where you registered, or the closest local government to where you registered.
I think that's why they say that you have to go to Ushodi to collect the PVC. I don't know the reason why.
It's supposed to be Solo local government area now, because Ejigbo is under a Solo local government area. So you're supposed to go to Solo local government.
And they say that even the Solo people will go to Ushodi to collect their
No problem. Can you just try to go to Ushodi and see if you can get
Oshodi is Solo.
It's Solo.
Solo local government.
Oshodi is actually the local government. Oshodi is Solo.
Okay.
Your is Solo, whatever is a contraption of Lagos State Government, LCDA. So INEC is probably
Oshodi is local government.
operating with the local
Yeah,
government.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you should go there, sir.
Did you hear that?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. All right, I'll take a little break. Let me let you wrap up so that I take a break. I'm due for a
Yes,
break.
so I was saying that we all know that it is full-fledged oppression that is going on in the markets in Lagos. In Etiosa, it's happening. In everywhere in Lagos, it's happening. You just have to do about it.
Okay, so let me quickly go for a break. I'll be right back. Stay with us. It's 90.3 Voice of the People FM.
Special called Ace Comedian SLK films yet another iconic stand-up comedy special called on Sunday, the 6th of November at the prestigious Shell Hall, Musan Center, Onikon, Lagos. Time is 6 p.m. No red capital. Tickets 10,000 naira flat. No table. All of us are no table people. See what I did there? Tickets available online at allevents.ng. You can also get tickets at Johnny Rockets VI and at all Fruity Life stores in Lagos. If you miss this show, it will pain you. Omorebi Custard, you are not a bastard. Look at you. Teetotala is supported by Dano Milk, Fruity Life Parfait, and Just Branded, and packaged by I Plan Wonders.
And VOP 90.3 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, the young legend is back. Your favorite comedian's favorite comedian, SLK, is back. Oh yes, Lagos is about to laugh again as ace comedian SLK films yet another iconic stand-up comedy special called Teetotala. Yeah, you heard me. Me too, I'm just hearing the word for the first time. On Sunday, the 6th of November, at the prestigious Shell Hall, Musan Center, Onikon, Lagos. Time is 6 p.m. No red capital. Tickets 10,000 naira flat. No table. All of us are no table people. See what I did there? Tickets available online at allevents.ng. You can also get tickets at Johnny Rockets VI and at all Fruity Life stores in Lagos. If you miss this show, it will pain you. Omorebi Custard, you are not a bastard. Look at you. Teetotala is supported by Dano Milk, Fruity Life Parfait, and Just Branded, and packaged by I Plan Wonders.
And VOP 90.3 FM.
The Evening Rush with Pressures. Let me bring you a reminder of hot topical conversations of the day.
Even state investors. As you're saying, you've not found
Critical analysis of hot and trending topics on Hot Topics.
That's enough for a responsible government to take appropriate action.
Politics.
If every president, every governor, every minister, every commissioner took his job seriously, this country would not be ready.
Economy.
We're not growing in terms of what's happening with the economy.
Lifestyle. Human angle. And sometimes the unusual. Evening Rush with Precious. Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. 90.3 Voice of the People FM, Lagos. Now,
You have a voice.
You are listening to the number one station, the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
it is 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Yes, love to take your thoughts and reactions. We are talking about the 2023 elections, youth participation. How do we ensure violence-free election? considering what happened in Kaduna State on Tuesday with whilst the PDP was having a rally there in Kaduna State. What can we do? And I've got two guests in the house. I have Mr. Ladipo Johnson and Tari Taylor. Oh, Titi, I love it. Did you ever get that nickname Titi when you were in
Some
school?
people no. Well, I became Tari Taylor.
Okay.
Yes.
So by the way, Tari Taylor is a youth, and she's very interested in politics. And apart from just being interested, she's a stakeholder because she's participating or she's contesting for a seat. What's her position in
At
contesting?
the Lagos State House of Assembly.
What is giving you that mind?
To do that.
Ah.
Because the people need a representative. It's like an SOS. The people need to be representative.
But they have a representative.
Well, but do they know who he or she is? Many people in my constituency have no idea who is representing them. And if you don't know the people...
Let me campaign.
So
the people need a young, dynamic person
to represent their interests.
To represent their interests.
Yeah.
They have had someone representing them for a while.
So this is not a campaign for her, so she doesn't get to pay me for it. So the thing is, you know why I got interested in your case? I remember you contested for a councillorship last year, right? And that was quite a tough situation. Can you help us with your experience?
So briefly. The elections were in July last year, 2021, and I ran still on the platform of the Youth Party in Etiosa local government for Ward A, which is from Lekki to Femi Okunu. So, it was an exciting campaign period. We got a lot of support. A lot of people came out to vote because normally the local government elections would pass and people have no idea. But this time, Lekki was energized. People came out to vote. But when it came to the election day, there was a lot of voter suppression and a lot of manufacturing of votes and all that. So we went to the tribunal after the elections where our case was heard. And unfortunately, the judgment was not in our favor. We appealed the judgment. Still didn't go in our favor. So I finally got closure in November. This is from July. And then I kind of just took stock and, continued in my work and all. And then this year, the opportunity came again to run. And I said to myself, look, nothing has changed from 2021. The problem still exists. I ran primarily to solve environment issues. I want to give my constituency a clean environment. Right now, it's filthy. It's nothing to write home about. And there's tons of unemployment.
But we almost have a smelling Lagos
anyway. Are you satisfied with that? Is that the standard that you want to stick to, Precious?
But that's beyond the House of Assembly members.
It is not beyond, because what is the function of the Legislative Assembly? To make laws and perform oversight functions.
So speaking of which, do you think that we've gotten to that level in politics where people pay attention to legislative positions? Because right now we're talking about presidency, and people will be looking at the governorship. So we seem to pay little or no interest,
But you see, that is the problem.
Positions.
That's the challenge, because on a federal level, a lot of the problems you go through on a day-to-day. Okay, you know what? Let's break this down. You live in, let's say, okay, let me talk about Etiosa because that's who I want to represent. What is the quality of your life? What kind of environment are you living in? Is it clean? Is it healthy? Is it safe? What kind of water, what quality of water comes out from your tap? If at all any water comes out from your tap.
You know why I like her? She sounded like an Oyibo Chico. So the kind of election campaign that we're used to in Nigeria is, I will build road for you. I will give you lights. I will give you healthcare.
But the things that affect our lives every day.
These kind of things that we're hearing is actually what we hear when, we watch, debates in their
but don't the things affect your life on a daily basis?
Do affect, but are you not so Oyibo for us?
No.
Do you think we're ready for that jandedness?
You are looking too much. But what is jandedness about having a good quality of life? What is jandedness about?
Do we even understand that we don't have a good quality of life, Oga Ladipo? Do people understand that we don't have good quality of life?
Do you think that Lagosians want a better quality of life?
I think the fact that every Lagosian complains about the traffic situation shows that they are aware that their lives are being shortened because the pressures we go through on a daily basis. And now that's just the traffic. And as she says, you look at other things as well about the environment. You let the rains come. You understand?
Lagos has constantly ranked one of the worst cities to residing in the world.
Think about it. 20 million children out of school. 2 million of those are domiciled in Lagos. That is a local government problem, not a federal problem.
So let me take this.
Primary healthcare, Precious. Isn't that a local problem?
But do we say, let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Michael. I'm calling you from Preston.
Michael, you're welcome. This is Voice of the People.
Yes, I want to thank your guest in the studio. The lady who wants to contest for House of Assembly. The point is that for the fact that people are not speaking out does not mean that they are not worried about what is going on. For example, I live in Festac. This is the first time ever since I've been living in Festac that all the roads in Festac have collapsed at the same time. And you don't find a passable road. If you come to Festac, unlike Festac before, when you come to Festac during school rush hour, there's heavy hold up. Because people don't have alternative routes because the roads have collapsed.
And you have representatives.
Actually, yes, we do, but we don't see them. We have the local government headquarters is here in Festac. So people are really concerned, but they don't know how to channel their complaints to. And I'm happy that the young lady is trying to throw up issues that concern people, just like water, just like clean environment, just like roads. That's what the campaign should be like, not name calling. The parties that are in power, have they been able to improve the quality of life of the people? I don't think so. 2015.
You mean life expectancy?
So these are the issues we should campaign on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Ladipo, you were saying something.
He's just talking about the quality of life, cost of living, standard of living. These are the things.
Don't go there. A pack of pasta as of last year, January, was 250 naira. It is about 500 naira today. And it's not just that the price is increasing, the quality is reducing.
Yeah, the quality
and nobody's
is reducing.
doing anything about it.
The quality is reducing because those who are producing realize that the cost of the ingredients gone up. The dollar, because we import virtually everything.
Exactly, and access to FX.
Exactly. So they say, okay, instead of increasing the market price, let's reduce the quality. And this, I didn't know others had noticed.
But you see,
it with some
the
goods.
thing about that, you were asking about the legislative function and how that can affect things. Look at this. Do you know that there's a federal agency called Standards Organization of Nigeria that should be monitoring the quality of the products that we consume? But who is ensuring that organization is doing the function they have been mandated
Terry,
to
did you
do?
know that if you buy I dare advertise, I mean that it's a household name. Did you know that if you buy a Samsung phone, for instance, the warranty that you have is quite different from the same warranty you have for the same make of Samsung phone in another country? Did you know that?
It's because
do you know that? So
So
it's that's what we're talking about. So why do we have to have peculiar situation in Nigeria?
Because the people who are supposed to be fighting for you in the state houses of assembly, where policies and laws are supposed to be made to protect you from these sort of exploitation, they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Oversight function of the legislative house means that everybody who is rendering one public service or the other, the agencies of government, the departments of state, they are all supposed to be monitored and evaluated to make sure that they are carrying out the functions that they are mandated to do. If nobody is looking out for you, then the quality of your life will never improve, which is why you should, in 2023, elect qualified, dynamic people to represent you at the state houses of assembly.
So do you think that we're ripe enough during this election to understand the need to pay attention to our legislative, positions?
I think we have enough time to carry out the orientation, but Nigerians need to respond by making wise and informed decisions. We were talking about the oppression that is going on in Lagos markets, for example, and I asked the question, what are we going to do about it? Why do we feel this sense of helplessness? Everybody just turns away and says, it's happening. We don't like that it's happening. 2023 should be a referendum for bad governance. We should drive all forms of bad governance away, whether at the local level, at the House of Assembly level, House of Reps, National Assembly, Senate, presidential, governorship. make wise decisions, Lagos. You cannot continue to complain.
All right, the phone lines are open. Let me take your calls and reactions. 0700 903 903 903. That is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Precious, Darlington.
Okay, you're back. Good evening, Mr. Darlington. Welcome.
To tell you the quality of politicians we have, do you know that the biggest problem on earth today is climate change? Meanwhile, your politicians, none of them is talking about it. None of them.
Look at the humanitarian crisis.
Look at the humanitarian crisis going on in Kogi. This government was called by Cameroon to come and dam their own side of the Lado Dam, so that this perennial flood will stop. Nobody paid attention. By now, somebody should have lashed in on that and campaign against it. But none of them is talking about it. Precious. In some climes, I have seen where environmentalists stopped the government from carrying out a project. I have seen it. They went there, they barricaded the place, and they mounted pressure until government backed down. But look at what is going on at Lekki. Look at the type of project that they're putting up in Lekki, in that area.
Lekki is gradually sinking below. I
am telling you that is a disaster waiting to happen. I was on air, a radio station interviewed me on this, and I said, look, I wish all of us would be alive to see what will happen in Lekki very soon, maybe in the next 50 years. There's no way nature will not come back calling in that Lekki as is. With what they are putting up there. That is environmental disaster waiting to happen. And you don't have capacity to manage the tsunami. That is part of what we are talking about. They are not interested in future. Our government, they are not futuristic in whatever they are doing. They are talking of now how to give you a bag of rice, how to give you Indomie, how to give you. That is what they are in the immediate. The problem we are suffering today was created by former leaders of yesteryears.
Isn't that the reason why we see Lagos is working, because of all the developments you see
which is working? Area? Do you know that, in fact, if it is an external crime, some people should have sued the Lagos State for making their life miserable. Lagos is literally choking. You stay in a hold for 4 hours, 5 hours. Is enough for you to go to court? What are you telling me? In a semi crime, somebody should have sued Lagos State government. The so-called Lekki. Look at what people are suffering there. You wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and you get to your office by 10 o'clock in the morning. What kind of life is that? No, tell me, what kind of life is that? Because of bad roads.
Thank you.
Look at the project, and you have only one access road.
That took place in Kaduna from over the weekend to early this week, and we did see major presidential aspirant candidates speak on it. One of which did really speak on the climate change issue too. I wanted to play the audio, but I mean, I don't want to take us back and forth and all that. So we are all, informed about what their speech were, as it were, right? So what do you have to say? What do you make of let's start with the APC presidential candidate. What do you make of his speech during the Arewa forum?
I think the general consensus from listening to everybody is that
Did you listen to the speech?
I didn't listen to the speech, but I heard some sound bites. Some people
because I didn't want to take us back so that it doesn't look like I'm overemphasizing.
Yes, yes. But the gist of it, what I got is that it's not a priority. They don't see it. Many of the candidates don't see it as a priority, and many Nigerians as well. What is our relationship to our environment? I mean, look at the environment we live in. Everywhere is so filthy. The floods come and we all complain, but what is the quality of our gutters? Why have we all gotten used to this, living in a city that is, we cannot control or manage the waste? Lagos generates about 13 million tons of waste on an annual basis. What happens to it? Most of it is in our gutters, is in our canals. Nothing is being done to manage the waste of all these people in this mega city. So we will continue to have these problems. Even when sometimes I even like to say, maybe we should not even be as advanced yet to be having climate change solutions, even though we should. But can we do the basic first? Clean our environment, that is within our control. Can we control our floods by making sure that all of our drainages are actually free flowing.
So in fairness, in fairness to let me take this call and I'll get back to this. Hello, good evening. Help me turn down the volume on your radio set, please. Good evening.
Let me borrow from one man that calls you precious, like your father.
Chai.
My own, I call you anti-precious, like you are my sister.
Chai. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Chooks from Oshodi.
Steve.
Chooks.
Oh, Mr. Chooks from Oshodi, welcome.
Yes, all right. I listen to people on this program, and whenever I listen, it pains my heart.
Sorry.
The way they lament, there is lamentation. But the truth of the matter, even what your guest is saying, the female one that is coming to contest to put things are right, the truth of the matter is that the system itself is polluted. If she gets in there, she will join the chorus because he cannot be able to beat them. She will join them. That is one. Even in the residence area, no matter, even I wonder, even if they bring Jesus Christ there, the person will still be corrupted, will still be polluted. So I think the solution here is to general overhauling, like the man rightly said, overhauling of the system. If it's restructuring that will save it, fine. Let us restructure and do things right. If not, no matter who you bring in there, the person will just go off the track and get as being corrupt. So that's the point.
All right, thank you.
Let's be realistic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
All
Mr.
right.
Tricks. So, Tari, I was going to say that in fairness to Lagos State Waste Management Agency, they actually have a recycling plan. They do that as a recycling policy, and I'm aware of that. However, I can't tell how, fully functional it is.
I can tell you for sure that it's not fully functional.
But I know that it exists.
It is. The idea is there. It exists on paper and in policy, but implementation is where the rubber meets the road. Nothing is happening in that sense. I work with Loma. I'm in collaboration with them in my Lekki area to make sure that in this environment matter. So I know where they are. I know the intentions they have, but we are nowhere yet near, full implementation of those policies.
All right. So, Ms. Aladipo, would you like to react to the speech of the All Progressive Congress candidate concerning climate change? And his entire speech during the Arewa Joint Committee in Kaduna.
Basically, he said that he would only participate in that way if the West also were willing to pay for part of it, because after all, maybe it started from them.
And that's when we got the reference of a church rat eating a communion.
Well, it's not so simplistic. I don't think the West would care for what is happening, the desert coming nearer and nearer us.
But should the West even intervene for us?
Exactly, that's where I'm going to.
Okay.
You understand? Unfortunately, I am not able to say that we want to do this and that now, because if I said that, it would be because we were not there intentionally, and our manifesto comes out next week. But I know for certain that it is very detailed about it, about alternative forms of energy, gas, and different things, solar. There are different parts of Nigeria that have different attributes, and I think by the end of next week, when the NNPP Rabi Musa Konkojo comes out with his manifesto, you'll see many things there in detail. I've told him that your manifesto is going to cause problems here. But my job is to go around defending it. So I'm waiting for that opportunity. But basically, as someone said, from what we heard, it's as if that they don't feel it's an important
it's not a priority.
Or priority. Meanwhile, if they were to...
Do you think that the issue of climate change was quite understood by our politicians, really?
No,
I like to take it
perhaps
to
not.
that
That's
direction.
why
I
I'm
hope you
saying-
understand why I didn't have to
Perhaps
ask that
not.
question.
Yes, yes.
That's why I'm saying that it's not such a priority to some of them. And it is an avenue, not just to improve the lives of people, but it's also an avenue to invest in the future.
Yes.
You understand? So there are many things like
Even a lot of development finance and collaboration that could
would
come. Yes.
into the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we have taken a look at this in detail, and you'll see it. And I hope when it comes out, I'll send you something. There'll be many questions.
We're not here to campaign for your candidate
No,
because
I'm not campaigning for him. I'm just
we're also
telling
coming
you.
to that.
Yeah.
So the reason it's important to raise these issues is so that we understand the mindset of those whom we may get to vote for, because we're talking about more awareness, we're talking about more participation, especially youth participation, we're talking about more grassroots participation. We do not want to see voter apathy anymore, or voters apathy as it were. So we need, but how will people even know the right person to vote when they don't know who they are and what their policies are? So that's the reason why we have to ensure that
That's
whatever
why
they
you
say
have to
or do,
bring the policies and the people to the masses.
exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
You have to bring these issues.
Exactly.
We have 4 months to discuss these issues and for people to know that government belongs to them and they must participate. Unfortunately for us, poverty pervades the land, and a hungry man cannot be a proper Democrat. Unfortunately for us.
Okay, so let's move to the next candidate, who is Atiku Abubakar, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. One interesting thing he did say about policies that would affect housing scheme in the country is about ensuring that it cuts down on taxes for most real estate companies, and to ensure that they pay more attention to lower housing schemes that would be affordable to the ordinary Nigerians, because according to him, most of the housing schemes that most of these real estate companies are into, it's not affordable by the ordinary Nigerian. But the thing is, it's one thing to make a statement, another thing is the actualization. Do you see that as something that is actualizable?
I think it's actualizable, and I am encouraged that this conversation is coming up. Affordable housing for low income earners.
Nigerians have very core
and the majority
issue.
Do you know that I came across a survey that was carried out by some urban development company, and it says that up to was it like up to 80% of Lagosians live in slum situations.
Let's digest that and take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Thank you so much. This is Maxwell. I'm calling you from Accra, Ghana.
All right, Mr. Maxwell, welcome. Are you watching? Are you listening from Accra,
Thank
Ghana?
you very much. Thank you very much. Concerning you see, there is no problem. I have no problem for the whosoever that is going to be the president of Nigeria. But what I would like to speak here is this. Nigeria can never make any progress, no matter how anybody try to, twist it, as long as the ground norm in operation. I was once a military officer in Nigeria, and the constitution that you practice is what is making Nigeria backward. That is all I can. Even no matter how you try to make it, right, it will never be right, because in a situation where your ground norm makes it very, very, difficult for a different to have the same, or let me say, a different set of people to have a numerical advantage over the others in the National Assembly, makes it difficult for the president that have the good thinking of Nigeria on how to develop Nigeria to implement or make bills that can better the Nigerian populace. That is my problem. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Sorry, let me let you finish your thought before we go to this issue, because this is more like the second person who's raised this issue of systemic problem. So let me let you finish your
Okay, so when it comes to housing, I come from a grassroots perspective, and for me, it's one of the issues that I have even outlined in my manifesto, because in my constituency, Etiosa 1, there are tons of people who are living on the street. Children, mothers with their children, or just young boys just on the street. They have no homes. And then there are also a lot of workers who live in these what they call Paco houses. Basically, they just put cardboard and different things together. That's how they live in these communities. No sanitation facilities, nothing. It is wrong. No Nigerian should be living in those conditions. We must not get used to it. It is wrong. So what is the solution? For me, what I'm putting forward and the Youth Party is for us to consider creating hostels, transitionary shelters, where people who come across hard times or are low-income earners can pass through these hostels, and they can find training. There can always be some sort of support. It can be maintained from a local government perspective, very efficiently.
So will these hostels be for free, or they'll pay for it?
Very subsidized. Very subsidized, because what I find in a lot of those slum communities, and there are a lot of them in Lekki, is that majority of them are workers. For example, you live in Berger, you work in Lekki. You cannot afford the transport day by day to come to work. So you will just go to this slum community, get one Paco house that you'll be living in, and you'll be going to work from day to day. No bathroom, no toilet. Everything is just unsanitary, but you need it because it's a place for you to lay your head. So if the local governments or or different constituency projects can come up with shelters that are very clean, very efficiently run, where people who need to make those transition or who just need a place to lay their head can pass through, even if it's for a month, couple of months, when they're working a job, they can stay there. And we don't have people living on the street.
We actually have land deficit as we speak. Why do we get the land to do all of this?
But you know that, can I tell you, Precious? I'm sorry, sir. Okay. But you know that even in my constituency, there are a lot of land that we have reclaimed. Guess what? Because those lands were refuse dumps. There are a lot of land that you would just see have become dump sites. These are government lands. Nobody's doing anything with them. We've
in contention?
In Lekki, I'm part of the environment committee in Lekki. We have reclaimed some lands that were refuse sites, and we have turned them into gardens. Or what we do is that, because you don't want it to go back to the condition you met it, you have to make sure there's an ongoing concern on the land. So either we put somebody there to be managing a flower plant, or do something to make sure that it doesn't go back to those conditions. So when it comes to land, Precious, I tell you, we have a lot of unused land that we can reclaim, develop, and build this sort of infrastructure that is serving the public good.
Very quickly before I let you talk, Mr. Ladipo, why I'm concerned about that is also because I'm concerned about our environment, other living creatures within our environment. The more we push for more land, the more we push them away. The more we drive them into extinction.
Like what? You
like
mean like
animals, like all of those. Because
but
the more we try to move further to get more land space,
but that's not an urban issue.
That's not
an urban issue. In Lagos, for example, a lot of the land that is within our living spaces, there are a lot of lands that are condemned, that people are just using as dump sites and all. There is no wildlife in those lands that need to be protected. Those are just ungoverned spaces.
Are those really condemned lands, or probably lands that were in contention or government owned and government has decided to?
I tell you that in Etiosa, for example, some of these are public properties, but they're just not using them. Now, would you rather, if you are federal government and you have one land that is sitting in Etiosa, for example, nothing is happening with it, it has become a swamp, it has become a squatter settlement, and I come and propose to you that, okay, we can develop this land to create some sort of hostel where homeless people and low-income earners can come and find shelter. Would you not be happy that land, at least an ongoing concern, is happening on that land, so that after a while it will still be viable? That is a worthy
That's fair.
proposition.
So, Mr. Ladipo, my concern here is that we seem to have, I don't want to say greedy politicians, we have politicians who acquire a lot of properties. At the end of the day, some of them are seized by, the powers that be, the federal government. And at some time, most of this, we have a situation where most properties that have been seized are just wasting away. They're not used for any purpose, including houses. You understand? So, I mean, isn't it better that instead of looking for more lands, we use those ones that have already built
I'm with you.
So that's what my worry is.
You get my
Instead of
thinking.
pushing
That's the thinking I'm coming with.
Okay.
That let's use what we already have to create solutions for our communities. Simple.
Okay, so Mr. Ladipo, you'd like to say something.
I like her thinking. The thing there is this. The hostel system is a sort of short-term solution for the person. You have to build consensus. Try to work between local councils and the state government. The bottom line at the end of the day is that we must create wealth.
Yes.
Because even if you put someone in an affordable house, what is the cost of electricity? What is the cost of water? Things like that. You won't give them free water, free whatever, forever.
Yes.
You understand? So the bottom line is that we must, as you look at the environment, you must also look at the way government can ensure that the economy is okay. You have
okay. Let me quickly. I was going to say, please give me a break. Let me take this call. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
A very good evening to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Ignatius. I'm calling from Lagos.
Your name is what, Ife?
Ignatius.
Ignatius. Mr. Ignatius, you're welcome. This is Voice of the People FM.
Alright, just want to encourage the lady in the studio. I think this is the second time I'm hearing her speak about her ambition. In as much as some people don't that there could be change in Nigeria, I want to encourage her to keep her dreams. Someday she will get elected, and someday she will make that difference. And if I were to live in Lekki where she is, I would join her towards the environment. So keep your dreams alive, keep pushing. Someday you would make a difference.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me let you
You're
conclude.
welcome.
Thank you. So, Mr. Ladipo.
So even with what Waziri Adamawa said, you understand, my fear is that that's the economics we've been involved in for quite a while. Give the big companies the tax breaks, and like we've done with cement, with this, with that. Meanwhile, the largest employers of labor are the medium and small scale industries.
Yes.
So we have to go back to grow this economy from the bottom up. Begin to help to empower these people, create the environment for them, access to this, to that, and try to make sure it is grown from the bottom and from the sideways as well. I'm not saying the big communication companies, things like that, shouldn't have deals on the table as well. Well, we have to be careful. This has happened for years now, at least for the last 7+ the PDP years as well. And we've seen where it has led us to. So we have to, I'm not saying that his proposal will not work, and I'm not saying it will work, but you must look at it in a holistic manner. Back to you, we are there, we put someone who has problems in short-term accommodation. How quickly will he move along the system? How quickly? Exactly. We have to look at that. And that cannot just be done by the member of the House or House of Representatives if it is federal.
Because it's not something that just needs the presidential might to effect.
No. You need the working of the members of the House. Together.
So you need that cohesion and synergy.
Executive. You understand? Because you see, the problem with Nigeria right now is that there's not just one path towards the solution of the problems that we have. The problems, what is that saying? It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery and an enigma. To understand Nigeria, it is difficult. You won't even know where to begin.
Exactly.
Because as you're trying to do something, there are some people who have an interest, who are coming and saying, what is this girl trying to do? What is the government trying to do? You're going to stop our business and everything.
And another way that the House of Assembly can even influence these housing policies is that if, for example, 15% of our budget, of our state budget, is allocated to housing annually, the House can insist that for low-income earners, maybe 10% of that 15% is provision that is made for housing, housing policies or housing investments for the poor and low-income earners. So the House actually can have a lot of influence in in the policies that are run.
And the House must have the political will to reduce, first reduce its running costs.
I was going to say
the
that.
Costs of governance.
I was going to say that.
Understand?
I mean, I have mentioned this in the show several
one
times.
of the most important things from the presidency.
Why do we borrow
downwards.
so much and we still run one of the most expensive governance in the world, or the government in the world? Why do we do that? And we're one of the most impoverished countries, and we run one of the most lavish government. Is it even necessary? And I think that, just like Mr. Ladipo has said, it's not something that just the president can single-handedly change.
At
it has
all
to
levels.
come from
At
all tiers of government.
Yeah, we were talking about
agree.
broken systems, but I agree that Nigeria's problems are institutional. It's the systems that are broken. However, systems are made up of people. People are determined by mindsets. So until we change those mindsets that govern our institutions, we will never get the change we want.
How are we going to change
orientation?
When there is hunger
national
in the land?
orientation. We need to change the
National
way we
Orientation
think.
Agency we know.
Precious. We need to change the way we think.
Okay.
You are National Orientation Agency sitting here as an OAP. Every single person that has a platform is an orientation agency. We need to change the way we think.
So I had a chat with a policeman sometime, and I was talking about the corruption in the force in Nigeria. And he said, look, I have a child who's graduated from the university and he's in my house eating my food. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't even have the hope of getting a job, and I still feed him. And as I speak with you, my take home does not take me home because of the cost of living. So would you tell me if somebody gives me a bribe I won't take?
Yeah, look at corruption.
So it's bigger than we imagine, because as a matter of fact, you know that people are hungry. It is hard for you to throw bribe at a hungry man and they say no, I won't take it.
It's the same thing with buying votes. It is hard for somebody to offer you 5,000 for your vote and say no.
And you say,
but guess
how
what?
do we get the
in
change?
A community in Anambra, in the by-elections in Anambra State, communities came together and rejected monies offered to them to buy their votes. So Nigerians, once we see the bigger picture, I think if we can all be plugged in to a bigger picture, a bigger vision of what Nigeria can be, we will reject the small things, the little things that are keeping us back, that are holding us hostage, like vote buying, like corruption, like lack of accountability in government. If we address these little things, because we see a bigger picture, we will get to where we need to go.
And I swear, when she said accountability, that's a different ball game entirely, because oh goodness me. All right, so we've x-rayed the position or the speech of the APC presidential candidate. I forgot to mention the points where he said the PDP presidential candidates did owe him his support, because he supported him in 2007, so it's payback time. You know how we always do this payback thing and all that. And then we also x-rayed what Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said, which is which we did speak about the low income housing thing for the ordinary Nigerian to be able to afford. Let's take a look at what the Labour Party candidate said. First, in terms of mechanized farming, he gave example of how it's a thing in some countries and it's working. Do we see that working, especially with what he said about ensuring effecting a change with the Bank of Agriculture and all of that? What powers would he have as a president to effect those changes, really?
No, as president you can direct policy.
Is it directly? Is it direct? Does it have direct powers in the Bank of Agriculture?
No.
It's
what
a federal
saying,
agency, isn't it?
What
it's a
I
federal
hope
institution.
he was saying was that he has powers with the Bank of Agric or what have you, but he was saying that he would get other banks to be shareholders
in the Bank of Agriculture. I think that's what he was saying. Yes.
Talking about mechanized agric and what have you, which is very, very important. But as we say, we have difficulties in this country, and we have to. Let me use an example of what happened. We wanted, for instance, our government in the last few years wanted rice, right? They wanted to ban importation of rice. And then you go on to close the borders, right? Inflation. Because when you close the borders, it's not just the rice you're closing. There are many, many other things. And especially our own manufacturers or traders who want to sell to Cotonou,
Yes.
to different places as well. You end up crippling them and not crippling, but damaging the growth of the economy and what have you. So there must be a holistic approach to looking at rejuvenating the economy, rebuilding the economy. But as I said earlier, yes, agric is one of the most important aspects of it. But we will be coming out to talk to you. She says I shouldn't campaign. But the African Continental Free Trade Area agreement that we've signed up to has increased the 200 million person market that Nigeria was, and it has increased it for us. Now, this is a youth. What I keep saying to people, part of what we'll be telling them, is that, look, for instance, this is an example. You tell me that I have problems with Yahoo boys and girls. Why can't I turn this talent and ensure that they go into programming, hardware, etc.,
technology, and all of that,
and make sure that Nigeria becomes the hub for ICT in Africa? Now, these are the things we'll be coming out with.
Oh my! These young men are so
Exactly.
so they're so smart.
Let
if
us
they
look-
get your SIM card today, in the tweak of an eye, your money in your account is moving.
Let us look at our problems and try to swivel to make them positives for us.
Find opportunities
Okay, so
in them.
yeah.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ladipo, the problem I have with
Yeah.
the agriculture thing is because, first of all, we have the flood situation now, which has, of course, one of the industries that it's most impacted or
yes.
affected is the agricultural industry, right? We have farmlands worth thousands of acres of farmlands affected. That is hunger in the waiting for us. And then, secondly, the fact that Nigeria still imports agricultural produce, eggs, fish, palm oil, salt. We have salt wasting in states like Taraba,
Toothpicks.
Ebonyi
Salt is still
states,
alright.
with their people salt and all that. But we still import all of these. Let me blow your mind to the tune of over $3.49 billion. So if we can import palm oil from Indonesia, from Brazil, worth this amount, what are we doing? Is it that, we would agree that our population is quite much. Are we saying that we do not produce enough for our population? How can this mechanized farming thing, ensure that we have that mass production that can fill in that gap? Because the population is also a thing.
Yes,
These
we
are the
have a
human beings
market.
consuming
We
it.
actually have a waiting market, but we're not producing enough to serve that
Exactly.
market.
That's the problem.
And this mentality of being consumers, I think it started way from the 70s when we first discovered oil. We had the boom, so we were importing. We're the highest importer of champagne,
Award.
and
You might
all
not
of
know
that.
about the Udoji Award. The older people know.
Tell us.
No, the older people know what we're talking about. The money came in, oil came in, and then all the civil servants increase in salary, this and that. They didn't think about inflation. Sue Larry, when they designed Surulere, it was meant to be for people who wouldn't own cars. That's why you see that the roads were narrow.
Wow.
And everything.
So for the big boys who just want to stroll down, wow.
So,
and that was supposed to be the ideal big man life, right?
Yeah, at a stage it crossed to being.
Yeah, there are some countries you live in that you don't need to own a car. You don't need to own a car because the transport systems work very efficiently. Highest, if you want to go somewhere, you ride your bicycle, or
Lines are still open. I'd like to get your thoughts and reactions on all of this that we're talking about. What the three major presidential candidates have said. Sorry about that. What three presidential candidates said? The presidential candidates of the APC, PDP, and Labour Party said at the Arewa Joint Committee. I'd like to hear your thoughts and reaction on those. Do you think that these are policies that would really drive our economy? Do you think that these are policies that we really need at this very critical time? Because even the Labour Party candidates even said it, that Nigeria is a failed state, that it qualifies to be a failed state. Because a failed state is two things that attribute to a country being failed is when you don't have hold of your economy and your security, and that's what the situation of the country at the moment.
Well,
so it's quite scary.
As an incurable patriot, I refuse that. You refuse? I refuse. My Nigeria is not a failed state. I am sorry. My Nigeria is not a failed
state. We haven't failed.
We are close.
We were
but we will
there.
pull back.
But we'll pull back from the brink. May next year.
I like the we die here spirit of Nigerians, right? It's 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call us with. 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 9039 for your WhatsApp messages. 0700 903 9039 for your WhatsApp messages. I have this call. I'll take it very quickly, then I'll come to you to know why your principal didn't make it to the event. Hello, good evening.
I want to take in what you are saying concerning the situation facing the country right now. Sometimes I like to say the country, the way it's going, it will go like this and then perish. But I still come to realize that when God was creating the earth, He said that nobody will die of suffering, but whatsoever. So my take on this is that somebody made mention that Nigeria is running an expensive system of government, and it's what a president can handle it. I want to tell you that people that you see there, those people that you see them there, no president will come there and they will allow him to change this system of government because they are benefiting. It baffles me a lot that a senator or a house of reps or a minister is collecting amount of money that will be able to feed a community, or let me say a local government, and some people who are dying of hunger. So my take is that anything, sometimes I do feel like let us just go into the system they said Ghana used before, that makes their country at least look more better for now. Sometimes if the youth are like me, I would have said let us organize and then enter and sort of say that we are ready. But our youth now, they are being spoiled with money. If they start something and then all of a sudden they receive money from people and then start becoming turn to disappoint people. So I don't know.
Thank you.
The only solution now is to pray to God, and then we also have to do much work in ensuring that the right candidate in the 2023 election is placed. That is the only thing, and we also be pray to God.
Thank
that
you.
Is my take.
Thank you so much. Prayer is the key after all. All right. So, Mr. Ladipo, very quickly, I'd like to get your thoughts. I got, a press briefing from the AAC presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, why he didn't make it, that there was more like an information apathy, from the team. And that's one of the reasons why he barely made it, even though he got that invite far back as June. But for your candidates, we did hear him say something about the Arewa already making up their mind about a particular candidate. But the Arewa has come to say that they don't have a preferred candidate.
Yeah, they'll always say that. People will always deny. Like you said earlier, the government of Kaduna said they didn't know about it. No one will own up to such things. The bottom line is that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of the New Nigeria People's Party turned down the invitation. And in, I think it was a 4-page press release,
Yeah,
he stated,
I was privy to that information
he
too.
stated that he was rather worried that some of the organizers, not all of them, it was a forum thing,
Exactly.
and there were
Joint
different,
forum.
yeah, there
Yes,
were different
exactly.
people, but some of them were people who he knew had vested political interests, and that he knew that there was a possibility that they would take a position and mess him up or mess one or two people up. Now, I actually spoke on a radio program about this morning. What he didn't put there, he didn't go as far as saying it, but the fact remains that some of these people he's referring to did exactly that to him in 2019.
Oh wow!
At the PDP primaries in Port Harcourt, where they came, the delegates were already there, and they came there, elderly people, elders of northern Nigeria, and they came and said that we already have a candidate. Oh, delegates from the north has a direction. We are supporting so person. We all know who that is.
Without a consensus.
Of course, without. They have their consensus. It's all about interest.
But the consensus should be, holistic.
No, they don't wait to do that. Unfortunately, precious. So the question was that, maybe he should have gone. And whatever. But I told someone today who called into the show, I said, if he had gone and then they had done what they wanted to do afterwards, that you'd have said, sour grapes. Now you're saying that you knew they'd do that. But we thank God that they didn't, at the end of the day, endorse anyone. And it might have been, because Uncle wrote to them and said, you are going to do this, and made it public. So, he didn't go.
So they had to deny it openly too.
Yes, and he didn't go. But as I said, we have 4 months to take our message. Not just us now. I'm not campaigning just for my party. We all have 4 months to go to the people of Nigeria. But what I will say, what Terry has been trying to say, is that the people of the country should hold all of them accountable, including Kwankwaso. What have you done in the past? What are you selling to us? How is it possible? Etc., etc., etc. But going to what Jude said, you understand that people would take money and throw away the next 4 to 8 years. We have to educate.
Can I quickly take this call because these callers have been, the phone lines have been buzzing so much.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening to you. Voice of the People of FM. Yes, good evening. Yes, go ahead, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe, calling from AJ.
Welcome to Evening Rush. My name is Precious. Go ahead. Let's hear your thoughts. Joe, you want to say something? Go ahead, please. All right, probably we'll have to let you go. Let me let you round up, Mr. Ladipo.
No, that's just it. And regarding Marshall, was it? Maxwell from Ghana. He spoke about the Grunum. What's it? Grunum in Latin. The Constitution is there. And there's a quotation, I've forgotten it, that no matter how bad a law is, it is operable if the spirit of the people operating the law, you understand? We realize that Nigeria is not perfect. We realize that the Constitution must constantly be developed because law is made for the people, not for man, not man for the law. But I make bold to say that if we had people who put Nigeria first, who are altruistic in their attitude to serving the people of Nigeria, we would be making progress. And when to Mrs. Taylor,
perhaps one of the reasons why it's been an issue and unresolved.
So for those who want that, and we remember that our uncle in Bodilon used to talk about restructuring. APC has been in government for 7 years. They've been quiet about it all of a sudden. But whatever it is, if we're saying that we must revisit the federating relationship that we have, then we have to make sure that we define this thing and then come forward. And that would be for our people going to the houses of assembly and House of Representatives and the Senate to do that. I keep saying that we have a national conference every 4 years. So I'm saying to our viewers, our listeners this evening, that referendum or that national conference, you go out to vote for it on the 25th of February, and then 2 weeks after for the House of Assembly and gubernatorial.
On the 11th of March.
Nigerians should ensure that they participate. And it's simple. We are all sinners. But know that 5,000 naira, 4,000 naira, or whatever it is, mortgages and finishes the future of children yet unborn. So vote for the person that you feel can move this country forward.
Thank you. More like, when we say vote for your conscience, we don't know if
the conscience might be bad.
The conscience may be bad. So, thank you so much, Mr. Ladipo. Thank you. Let me quickly take this call before I get your parting shot. Tari, hello, good evening.
We have to find out together.
All right. So let me hear you now, please.
You have Ambassador Buzwa here calling you from Wishes.
Okay, you're welcome, please.
I enjoy your guest for his comment. You know what? To me, talk is shit. All these campaign, all these, to me, it didn't bother me at all. My mom, my late mom used to tell my younger sister whenever they want to get married, believe your husband, but if your husband promise you even an else, never believe you 100%. So, if he fulfill the promise, allow him, thank him. But if he did not, just move on. Look, the bottom line is that no matter both politicians, they are all the same thing, the same God run in their way. But the koko is that we Nigerians should be able to, after the election, we should come together and hold these people accountable. Sure, Stamina, if they fail to fulfill the electoral promises, what are we going to wait for 4 years? These are the questions we should ask ourselves. Okay? Whoever emerges as a president must do what people want. If we can form that pressure group that they must, not by violence, we talk about the executive alone. The senator, they are surprised. We never focus on them. We never care to become a senator or become rest. And these are the people that can checkmate the executive. If we stand on the neck of the senators and not surprised, honestly speaking, things will be better in this country. But we focus on the president. Oh, it's my president, it's my president. If Jesus Christ comes, they will keep on disappointing us. But we can hold the senators accountable, and that's what rest, my sister. We are there. Good morning. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Good evening. So, Tari, let me have your parting shots.
Well, I'll just take a cue from the last caller because he's talking about the Senate, the House of Reps, and the State House of Assembly. For example, in Lagos, you want to see, every Lagosian should want to see diversity in the Lagos House of Assembly. You cannot have the main body that is responsible for making laws and driving policies in Lagos all having one track mind. We need to have different ways of thinking. There needs to be diverse representation of the different people that make up Lagos, the youth, the women, the different ethnic groups even that make up Lagos. There needs to be diversity in the house. So to be honest, Precious, they need me in the House of Assembly because I bring a different form of diversity.
Do they know they need you? That's the problem.
See, my constituents will tell them.
Change. We need very positive change without knowing.
Etiosa 1, March 11th, will tell them that they need a youth representative in the House of Assembly, and they will vote for the youth party, and we will go and show them what good governance can look like, because that is necessary. There is a desperate need for good representation, and I believe that we have it, we embody it, and we can deliver.
So what's giving you this new confidence, considering the situation you went through last year, the situation you had last year?
Well,
is it the new electoral act?
Well, the electoral act helps, and also, like I said, there is a shift in people's mindsets. People are a bit more involved. People are participating more. People are understanding the need to have people who actually ran. Why I ran in 2021 still exists. Nobody is doing anything about it. So I am actually here to offer the people of Etiosa 1 a better deal than what they currently have. If you are satisfied with the way things are not working, filthy environment, bad infrastructure, no primary healthcare, poor education, if you're happy with it, then stick with it. But if you want a difference, then vote me into the House of Assembly to represent you in Etiosa 1. It's as simple as that.
Tari, your party is, I don't, not for the lack of words, probably pretty much unknown to a lot of people. That's one.
Oh, but not in our constituency.
But you know, the structure thing is also a problem.
Yes.
You know, and then we know the fact that, so the fact that you're also probably not a Yoruba, as it were, because by your name I would assume that you're from the Niger Delta axis.
But that hasn't come up. I am Lagosian.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Full-blooded Lagosian.
But you know how when you want to run for a chieftaincy position or when you want to be given a chieftaincy position, they remind you who your father is. You know, that's still a thing.
Precious, you know why my situation is actually quite unique? Because I am a product of Lagos. I am what Lagos boasts to be. I went to Queen's College. I went to University of Lagos. I've gone to Lagos Business School. I've run programs here. I am a product of Lagos. So I am well prepared to serve Lagosians in the capacity that I'm asking to.
And the demographic in
Etiosa is diverse.
Favors her a bit. So she should come and consult some of us.
I will take you up on that.
All right. So I was going to ask what your structure is. You know, structure is a thing. You know,
but we are all realizing now that structure is not the traditional structures, stomach infrastructures that we are used to know. Structure is people who believe in a similar cause, willing to put themselves out there to make it happen, and we have that.
All right, thank you so much, Tari Taylor. Tari Taylor is a House of Assembly candidate of Youth Party, and she's a youth, most importantly, who is a stakeholder in this whole political system in Nigeria. And thank you. I love the innovation of your thoughts. I like to see something different. I mean, when you were talking about environment, I was like, hey, wow, we've not reached here now. This is Nigeria. This is not what we're used to in campaigns. We're used to, we'll give you road, to build road, no more pothole along the Ekpe Expressway. That's the kind of things you're used to, you know. So I like the fact that we're speaking facts. I like the fact that we're talking reality. We're looking at the future, what really affects us and how it's, will impact on our future if we do not act immediately. Create one. I applaud you. Thank you so much, Tari. Thank you for honoring me. Thank you for finally coming.
I did.
I appreciate it. I hope it was worth your time.
It was absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Ladipo, thank you so much for obliging me in a very short at a very short notice. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
I hope that you come back when next I call.
Yeah, by the time you'll be calling, I hope I won't be so shackled. By that time, my manifesto will be out
break
there,
the shackles,
and we
will break the shackles.
Please let me listen to that. I would like to hear.
I didn't want to complain that we have some sexism here because we've been talking about Tari's campaign, and I'm not allowed to talk about my campaign. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, we're not even talking about her campaign. We're just talking about her drive.
I know.
And I think it's quite applauding to also see a woman push for this, because I mean, look at youth representative in the political system so far. It's poor, quite poor.
It is.
For the people who make up larger percentage of the voting power. It's too poor. So I do hope that moving forward, I mean, come 2027, we would have more youth representation.
I hope
I'm looking forward to that.
By God's grace.
Yeah. By God, you see, you have to say by God's grace, because you know why you said that, Mr. Ladipo. Let me just hang my boot there. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you, Lagos.
Thank
it is still Voice of the People FM 90.3. Your girl Precious. I'm so glad to be with you. Hey, we're switching topics right now. So the weird, the bizarre, and the beyond the ordinary, right? So that thing that happens that people say some kind of juju used to work. Like I could actually do money medicine, and I can go and see a babalawo, and that babalawo would give me money that would change and turn around my life. Is that really a thing? Like I can do a jazz, and that jazz will work and turn out to money. Well, we're going to do have a case study of the IVD and Abimbola's case, and that story has quite a lot of dirt in it, but it has a lot of some spirituality and some yama inside of it. So do you believe in juju? I mean, the one that if you go to Babalawo, he will do something that will make you rich in life. Is that a thing? Is that a reality? You know how on Wednesdays, we look at the weird, the bizarre, the extraordinary, right? So stick around and stay with us. I'd like to have your thoughts and reactions on that. 0700 903 9039 on WhatsApp and 0700 903 903 903 via call. Let me take a break. I'll be right back to take your calls and reactions. Stay with us.
Award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, delights in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice. Lekki Phase 1, Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.